No, I don't remember. I don't remember. I played 8 games of Legion in 3 days. I got drunk every night.
Okay. Fair enough.
So it's hard. I got this really cool chance die, and I was like, God, was it Eric that gave me the chance die?
Well, hey, we picked up some new subscribers. Maybe
We
they'll
did.
tell us.
Yeah, maybe one of them will tell me. I can't, and I apologize. I should remember, but it's a really cool chance die, kind of like in whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a couple nights. There was a couple nights I got pretty.
Oh yeah, you sent me the picture.
Hello, I'm Daren.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Rich.
And welcome to another episode of 3 Foot Good.
On this episode, Daren's probably going to do a lot of the talking
Okay.
because there was just this teeny tiny little event that happened last weekend called LVO that he went to.
Yeah. So if you don't know,
He won. He got his invite. Oh wait, no,
No,
never
I
mind.
didn't. I told you I wasn't going to do it. Dude, I barely won any games. So, first up, before we go any further, LVO, Las Vegas Open. LJ and the crew, thank you so much. You did a great job. Had an amazing time, as usual. It was a lot of fun. It was a great tournament, great turnout. There were some pretty incredible lists. There was a 6-act.
That 6-act Vader Palp list.
Yeah,
Which,
awesome.
if you're in the Legion community, you've already seen.
You've probably already seen it. You've probably already seen it. So, LJ and your whole staff, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We know how much work a tournament you can go into putting on a tournament just for 20 plus players.
Yeah.
And to do 140 plus.
43 in the main day tournament, plus then the
plus
2 side tournaments.
Yeah, the 2 side tournaments.
Yeah, crazy.
Dude, man, 2 thumbs up. Way to go. You guys, really. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you guys again next year.
And Adepticon.
And he's the head judge of
he's
Adepticon.
Consular.
Yeah, right.
Now, the reasoning, though, I will say that that's actually pretty cool because you guys were in a big hall with other games playing. Everybody's calling judge. Okay. Well, okay, do you need it for Star Wars? Or was that the X-Wing game or the AOS game? Well, nobody's calling out Counselor. So you sound Counselor, then the Legion guys know, I'm needed over here.
Okay, the hard part for me is I have a hard time remembering what's going on the table, but I'd love to be able to go. What am I supposed to call him again?
Right.
Yo, dude, need help.
Head person.
Yeah.
All right, so how we're going to do this is probably going to be a long one because we're going to go over at least his 6 games that he did. He's going to talk about.
I'm not going to remember much. Yeah.
That's okay. I got stuff to prompt him with.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Right.
I do my due
okay.
diligence.
It'll be only as long as the battery lasts.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
How will we know when the battery's dead? Will it flash at us?
It'll just
stop.
turn off.
It'll stop.
Yeah, it'll turn off. Okay. And then we'll have to go part 2 sometime. Right.
All right. So we'll do a quick recap of what your list was. And what I love about the game uplink is you actually get to name your lists, and there were some pretty cool names. I like Daren's, though I am probably a little biased. But what was your list name?
My list was called Me Up Chewie. So I took 2 ISPs with Beam and Chewie, which is why you call it that.
Right, Beam Me Up Chewie.
Yeah, Beam Me Up Chewie. Because I was running twin beams and air support, which is also Beam. Clone Commander, and then a whole bunch of...
He had 5s, a couple missile launchers, phase 2 with the mortar.
Yeah.
So he had 8 activations, right?
9. 9.
Oh,
I had R2D2 too. That threw him in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he could repair stuff and
Nice.
yeah,
Good.
threaten for the secret mission.
All right, so you get out there. Day 1. I am stalking him like I said I would on Game Uplink. Though I did not message you during your games.
You didn't?
Except
No.
day 2.
First time.
Except for day 2 because I didn't know you were in the unconventional warfare.
Yeah. And it's not that as big.
Right. Okay, anyway, so day 1, we're going, and wouldn't you know it, there's a hiccup with Game Uplink because everyone is trying to refresh the server at the same time. They got it fixed, and that was the only time it was an issue, so they took care of it. Kudos to them.
Yeah, it was a good system. It worked really well. So game
that was going to be one of my questions later on. Was how was the interaction?
It was good.
That was going to be at the end after we got done with everything. But go ahead and say it.
Yeah. Well, so I skipped.
Yeah.
So perfect. It was good. The interaction was good. Didn't have much trouble. Upload time seemed to take a little bit but everybody's trying to get on at the same time.
Right.
But usually you found somebody who was loaded, and everybody was cool enough to go, hey, what table am I on? And everybody's, oh yeah, you're on that table over there. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's really helpful if yours didn't come up right away.
Well, next
so.
time I'll just text you because I was getting it like right away. Like, all right, there, you're on table this. Go get him.
Yeah.
So you just need to have a stalker.
Right.
Okay, so day one.
Stalkers are fun for the first couple of weeks. After that, it's a little bit weary.
There's 143 people in the main tournament. Okay, so round one, you go up against a Tim Hannon.
Yeah.
And Tim Hannon is from the Stabcast and 5th Trooper adjacent, kind of now, because he moved up to New York and he's been on their podcast a lot too. But
Yeah, okay, so I don't know about, I know you guys have no idea who I am really, but every time I go to one of these damn things, right?
your first opponent
There's always somebody
is
that's
someone
like,
Legion famous.
yeah, or,
Sean Morris.
ranked 20th, or...
Mike Cirillo.
Yeah, it's...
Tim
it's,
Hannon.
Yeah, I mean, and these guys are going, oh my God, you know who you're playing? No, I really don't.
No,
I
it's
don't.
all right.
I don't have a clue. And then you go, oh, well, what do you know? Yeah, that's nice. Right.
You guys, Tim was a blue player. He had a Garmore meta was his list name, which is probably my second favorite list name because unfortunately it was Republic on Republic.
Yeah.
But you guys played key positions, rollout, and clear conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's list was 1 phase 1, 2 phase 2s, 3 ATRTs with flamers, and then 2 saber tanks, one with Miss Sakura, and then they both had then twin lasers and high energy shells. And I saw that list and I was like, man, that's a lot of armor.
It's a hell of a lot of armor, yeah.
So how'd it go, Daren? Tell us about it.
I lost. I lost in the last turn, and so it's one of those things when I focused on the center objective, trying to win the game, and I should have put more thought into worrying about points, and I did not do that. And Tim snuck back and displaced me and got that last position, as soon as I saw him moving, I was like, oh, piss. That's right. Son of a bitch. And I saw it. And
you can get Tim's side of the story on their podcast that got released a couple days ago.
Yeah, and as soon as I saw him moving back there, I was like, oh, man. Gosh damn it. But yeah, because I went all in on the center objective. And he's like, and I got you. And I was like, oh, piss. Gosh damn it. Yeah.
So it was a loss.
Yeah.
1 to Daren, 2 to Tim.
Yep.
That's all right though. You're ready for round 2 then, right?
Ready for round 2. Yeah.
So but
What?
Tim has already said this, and he has said it down in his podcast, not just to Daren. So there is actual collaborating evidence. Tim might steal this list and tweak it a little bit. So I told you he's making the new meta.
No, I'm not. So I actually like it. I enjoy playing it. I'm gonna make it work.
You are.
I am gonna make it work. So I've already made an adjustment.
Yes, you have.
A couple adjustments. I've already made a couple adjustments. So you're gonna see this fucker again.
You're gonna see it at Adepticon.
Yeah, you're absolutely gonna see it again at Adepticon. Just a little different version of it, but you're gonna see it again. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, going into round 2.
Yeah.
So, we're hoping for a nice, good bounce back here. You're going up against a Weston, I'm going to butcher your last name, so I'm going to try it. He was red player, so you were blue player in this one. And you guys ended up on Intercept, Long March, and Fortified Positions.
Yeah.
And his name was LVO Single Bounty. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Who does he bring? Oh, he's droids. He's bringing Kalani, Cad Bane, 5 B1s with the E5C, 1 just B1 squad, and then 3 Staff Riders with the Link Targeting Array.
Fucking stabs. That dude, he used, there was a terrain piece that he used extremely well. The stabs just ruined my ass. I got wrecked that game. Yeah. Fuck.
It was a loss 2-5.
Oh yeah, I got wrecked that game. Fucking stabs. And for us, though, okay, I learned, for one thing, for us, nobody takes stabs around here, ever.
There's, I think, only one local player that I've seen bring it to a tournament.
And he only brought 1 stab, so it's not...
Well, it was a double stab list.
Yeah,
but it was like 2 years ago.
And,
so.
Yeah, and so it's like, stabs, all right. And then when you get through playing them, you're like, Yeah, okay, that's right. Gosh damn it. All right, so, but no, he, good player. He wrecked me. Both of them just, yeah, it was fun.
So how were the train rules? Because again, we were 10 days into a new rule set before this tournament happened.
I think I posted on our local Facebook page, if you think you've got cover, you've probably got cover. And there was quite a bit of cover. They did a really good job, though, of throwing out, like, there was more scatter terrain, some area light terrain. So it wasn't always heavy cover. But there was, you were, if you've played with the new rules at all, it is very difficult to get somebody in the open.
Right.
It's very difficult to not have some kind of cover. I took blast grenades on a couple of my units just because of that. They were able, actually, there were a couple of occasions where I was able to actually fire support into a blast grenade or a concussion grenade with blast.
No more cover.
Yeah. So I did it once to scouts too, which is like which is like cover 3 with 5 as a squad. So that popping the specialist first. That was nice. That one of those turns where you go do this. Oh, hey, that worked. What do you know? Yeah. But
how was the climbing rules? Did that come into play?
Not. It did a couple of times.
Because that came into play on the streams.
A couple of times. I was able to actually. There were a couple of. There was at least one. Oh man, I think it was against Roman on day 2. With the bomb. I was able to. I was up high, or below. I was up a climb away. I was able to climb down and grab a bomb. When ordinarily, I don't think I'd have been.
You would have had to clamber down, hopefully not kill yourself, and then but that's still an action. Yeah. So you don't get to move, so you're just climbing.
Yeah. But so with this range 1, speed was a speed 1 move, and I was just like boop boop, and then claim it. And I was like, oh well, that's cool. So so it does make a little bit of a difference. Okay. Yeah.
Because you saw lots of Vader on the stream doing his more or less jump 1, climb 1, because that's what that kind of is now. Yeah. Because Vader can just move speed 1 up to height 1.
Yeah. So
I was just curious how it was, if it came up a lot or not.
It didn't come up a lot, but it came up a couple of times. Okay. And it's just like, I played 8 games of Legion in 3 days, and so you kind of pack it in there really good. But I learned quite a few things. Actually, I learned a couple of things about how not to use the ISPs at all, and then a couple of times where it's like, oh, well, yeah, that works out pretty cool.
So you're 0-2 on day 1.
I 0-2 on day 1.
And he's in Vegas. So I'm assuming, well, I could see him not play game 3. He's there with Dave. There's other stuff to do. He's not in the running anymore. Nope. You stick it up for round 3, which is awesome. Because I'm of the mind, if I'm going to play, I want to play. But I've also never been to Vegas, so maybe if I go, I won't play.
I do. Yeah, it is the temptation when you're 0-2, and you're like, well, hell, I'm not gonna,
and
but
free drinking while you're gambling.
Yeah,
and you can just put $1 in and get a free drink.
Yeah. So they don't come around as often as you might think, though. They're kind of wise to that somehow. I don't know.
You got to tip them good.
Yeah, where casinos are. But and then it's not a free drink. But yeah, so but it really didn't cross my mind this time to drop. I was like, you know what? I'm here. It's a new rules, new list. At least I can kind of figure out what's going on if I'm ever going to take this again. So
round 3, you go up against Marshall. That's all the name that was listed. So we don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Marshall, great guy. In fact, I think we sat around and talked for a couple of hours, like that day or the day after. And I didn't make any contact, because you don't want to be like creepy. But Marshall, if you're watching this, if you get on, like, DM me or something like that, get me some contact information. You're cool to hang out with. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun.
You were blue again.
I was.
He was red.
I was. Yeah.
He was running, and this list name made me smile. Of E-Web of Deceit.
Yeah, I know, right?
So you guys did intercept, rollout, and clear conditions.
Yeah.
His list was a Blizzard Force list. So the mighty Blizzard Force that is broken, except when you don't take 4 bikes, I guess. because he has Veers, Officer, the HRUs, 2 of them, both of them with the DLT RTs. He had 3 Snow Trooper Flame Troopers, and then 1 Snow Trooper just with the extra guy. And then he had 4 E-Webs, bless your heart, with HQ uplinks and barrage generators.
Yes.
Jeff would have been proud.
Oh, I know.
Just not enough critical range 3-4 guns is all. But okay, so that's a nasty list if you get into it, but you ended up winning 5-3.
Yeah. I pulled it out, and I wish I could remember every turn, and I like you, but I don't remember like.
Right.
But I do know this. Marshall was great to play with, a great time, and then after that, I mean, I think we shot the shit for like hours, like for the next couple of days. So
good.
Great dude. Great
so
dude.
1 and 2 overall. So you didn't get goose egg. You got on the scoreboard.
I got on the scoreboard. Right.
So
yeah, I did.
You finished almost in the top 100 of the 143. Yeah. So I mean, that's not horrible.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah, and I think I helped Weston get in because it's the strength of schedule. I think is a thing now. Right?
Yes, it's part of the...
Yeah, it's part of the thing now. And so after I got done with Weston, he goes, I need you to win now. And, well, he did, because he was like in that 60-ish.
Yep. He was in the 2-1s.
Yeah.
Because he was 0-1 when he played you.
Right.
So then he's 1-1, so he could be on the cusp, because not every 2-1 got in.
Yeah. And then
the vast majority of them did.
But my win, he was pretty close.
Yeah. That allowed him to
bump
it up.
Weston a little bit.
Yeah. So then you had fun. You get up. I send him a text the next day, figuring he's like, "Oh, I'm playing." I'm like, "I am so sorry. I didn't know you're playing."
Yeah.
And I go back into stalker mode.
Yeah.
So day 2 was unconventional warfare. So this was a thing FFG brought out a couple years ago. It allows you to take a different force org chart, gives you some different bonuses. You just brought your same list.
Yeah. So I just brought the same list because of flying and all that. I didn't want to pack a bunch of extra stuff. I was packing extra stuff for Dave for the doubles tournament anyway. And so I didn't want to bring a whole bunch of extra stuff. So I just took the exact same list. That does kind of hamper you a little bit because you're up against some kind of special stuff.
You'll see.
You're up against some kind of special stuff. So it does hamper you a little bit. I won't be doing it. I'll bring a bigger suitcase and bring more shit next time for that and for doubles. But I just brought the regular list, which I actually got a win, and I made some games kind of close, a little bit more close. So even using the regular list, and I was getting better with the list as I was going.
It's amazing what multiple games in the same day can do for you.
I know, right? And then I did so.
It's almost like we had a video where you said you should practice your list before you go to a tournament.
I should watch some of our videos.
Right.
We said that?
We did.
I probably said that.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah. There might be a link to it somewhere because we've talked about it a couple times now.
Maybe I should watch some of these.
Yeah.
There might be some good information.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I hope not.
I always just kind of skip through for the half-naked girls and then I keep on going.
Right.
Yeah.
Cue.
All right, so day 2, round 1, you go up against a Tristan M. Inferno squad.
Right. It was a lot of fun. We had a great game.
He was blue player.
Uh-huh.
You guys did recover, long march, and clear conditions. Mm-hmm. His list name was just called Dummy. And I thought that was interesting until I started reading his list. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. So he's got Officer. He's got Iden. He's got Boba Fett. He's got Din Djarin. All right, so he's got Iden and Double Bounty. So, all right. He's got 2 snowtroopers. He's got Inferno Squad and 3 sniper strike teams.
Yeah.
Long story short, you did lose 2-3. Mm-hmm. I can understand that with recover supplies and Fett because Fett can get to that middle box or any box fairly quickly.
Yeah, it was...
Can't start there anymore.
No, yeah. And so I was like, recover the supplies. Oh, we got all kinds of jetpacks. I'll look at it, all kinds of... Well, let's see if we can try and make it a game. But it was a lot of fun. And I did not beat him in Inferno Squad, but you can see that I'm supporting an Inferno Squad. He had so much fun, he gave me a pin.
He did that. Those were only supposed to be for guys that won.
Yeah, that beat them. I did not beat them. No. But it was a good time. Great game. Tristan was a lot of fun to play against.
Yeah. So then we go into round 2. He's 0-1. Go up against an Eric Sorensen.
Sorensen. And I asked him, I was like, man, do you know anybody in Illinois? Nope, because we had Sorensens out in Port Byron. So
right, and then the leather guy, right? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, the weather guy that became the senator. His name is Eric Sorensen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, not the same guy.
Was it Eric? I can't remember.
And I don't think
pretty
he's
sure.
from the area. The other Sorensens were from out in Portland.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right, so he was red player. So you were blue player on this one.
I was.
You guys ran intercept, rollout, and fortify positions.
Mm-hmm.
Eric's list was Rex is good? ? He has Rex, 2 clone commanders, a phase 1 with 5s, then 3 phase 2s with a Z6 and extra guy, a full arc team but no heavy weapon, and then an arc strike with Echo. And he's given out a lot of direct orders and then coordinating. So yeah. And it was a 6-6.
And it went to
So it went to points.
Yeah, the beginning of that game, I was like, by the end of turn 2, I was like, oh man, my goose is cooked, because he was rolling saves like nobody's business. I mean, he was hot on the dice, and no kidding. I was like, at the end of turn 2, I was like, man, do I even want to keep going? But I was like, hell with it, let's keep going. Well, 3 was okay, but turn 4, was it 4? At one point, Rex he'd come out, popped out, and I chased Rex back with, I think, 1 wound. And then stuff started kind of falling apart. And that's this. So the suppression panic order rules start coming in, which is how I was able to score some points, because throwing out with the ISPs and beam, you're throwing out 3 suppression, you know. And so I was able to kind of split fire a couple times, throw out some suppression. So his units weren't able to score. Not that I was killing a lot of them at that point.
But these are all phase 2s.
Yeah.
Or they're all courage 2.
Yeah. And
or
so,
higher units.
And so there
Courage
were a couple times where I was able to get 1 or 2 units to not score because of all the suppression I was able to put on them. And then toward the end of the game, because I was plinking 1, plinking 2 here and there, but then the law of averages started coming around.
Daren Tyler showed up.
Well, for him, yeah. And so the law of averages came around, and so all those saves he was making, he was starting to miss, and so he was starting to lose units. And that's what helped get to the tie and then get to the win, is because some of his units started dropping there toward the end. And it was a hell of a game. I mean, it did kind of turn a little bloody. I mean, we were slaughtering each other pretty good toward the end. But a lot of fun. He's a cool dude. So laid back. Eric's got to be one of the most laid back guys I've played in a long time.
Good.
But
Good. All right, so round 3, he's 1-1. We can still make this a good showing. Here we go.
Yeah.
Going up against Roman of the Legion Lads.
Yeah, out of was it Fresno?
You said someplace in California.
Yeah,
so
I think it was Fresno. Yeah, I think so.
You guys.
I hope I got that right, Roman.
And ended up with bombing run, battle lines, and clear conditions. His title was upper management, as opposed to for all you old school Empire players, middle management was Veer's Krennic list for the longest time. This is upper management because it has Callus and Commander Vader, 3 storm troopers with the T-21, 2 sniper strike teams, and then 2 dewbacks with the T-21.
Yeah, and bombing run.
A lot of critical. Jeff would be proud of that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's bombing runs, so they're coming across the board. But it was only a loss 2-2. So that means you guys went to points.
We went to points.
Nice.
And it was close points too. It was pretty close points. God, did I get Vader? I think I got Vader and Callus. But one of the dewbacks stayed on the board. I couldn't kill that dewback. I think that may have made the difference at one point. It sealed the deal. But in the same token, he was trying to kill 1 trooper, so that would have made, because I was making saves every time he attacked it. So
right.
Good game, a lot of fun. Roman is great to play. In fact, he's a store owner, I believe. I believe he's manager, store manager. He manages a couple of stores. And I think it's Fresno, so look it up. And Roman, if you're watching this, go ahead and feel free in comments, whatever, put it in there. We will definitely rep you. Great guy, had a great time. Loved playing against him. Hopefully I get to see him again. I hope all you goofballs that I played, hopefully you'll make it to Adepticon or some other con, or I'll see you at LVO again, because I had a great time. Really,
He's
really,
going
really
next year.
good. Yeah, I'll be there next year.
We'll
Absolutely.
be there. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. So yeah, it was another close game. It was fun.
So meanwhile, while all this is going on in the main Legion tournament, the Grand
There
Championship.
was something else going on?
Yeah, the main one. There was the 6-act Vader list. Almost made it to day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dave was defeated by Blizzard Force, ran by none other than Kyle Dornboss, and I guess it was a very close game.
Yeah.
Yep. So he went 5-1 at the tournament with a 6-act Vader Palp Gav tank.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool.
This
right?
is awesome that all these weird lists are even doing well. It's not just, oh, you have to run Blizzard Force to win. Now, that's not to say there's not issues with Blizzard Force, because there's issues with Blizzard Force.
You know, you can.
But on top of that, since we're going to get talking into day 2 here, or day 3, which was the team tournament, where's the finals? The finals ended up being 2 Blizzard Forces, a Padme Anakin clone list, and a 501st Anakin list. That's it. Like, now granted, everybody's like, oh, see, 501st doesn't need any help. Well, 501st is ran by Mike Berry, who could arguably be the best Republic player in the world. And he did it for a reason of, no, it's not horrible. It can win. But it's, in my opinion, it's the hammer that drives it, not the nail. So
Yeah, a lot of times.
Mike and Kyle could take any list and probably do really well, make it to top 4 at the top cut. So we're going into day 3.
Right.
Team tournament.
Team tournament. So, team tournament.
Did it happen? Did you get to roll dice?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Lost both games. Kind of my fault. So, when I made up the list,
There's a tournament packet.
Yeah, there's this cool tournament packet that tells you, like, what's going on. And we've both played a couple of team games. And so you're just like, okay, well, I got this. And I just made up a couple of lists. And one of them was my list. They just kind of took off a couple of 100 points and went, okay, here we go. And then Dave, who's played 6, well, maybe 8 times now. Maybe not even that. Maybe 6.
Like 5.
Yeah. So I think he's played once and then a couple of team tournaments.
Right,
so,
he's played a
yeah.
couple. He's played like two team games.
Yeah,
with you,
well,
and then
3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, because we went 2-1, and then so he's played maybe 6 games. Anyway, including this weekend. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll give him Wookiees and some clones with some stuff, and
Go forward.
and then go
Chieftain,
forward.
go get
yeah. And I didn't read the event packet with all the other cool stuff that was going on, and so it wasn't just they weren't just straightforward games, and your lists were a little different, and I was like, well, here we go, and yeah, it was fun, man. It was,
Flipping tokens on the
you're
board
flipping tokens
trying
on
to-
the board, and the first game we were on opposite corners, and I was like, okay, I'll give you a hand this game, don't worry about it, and then we're on opposite corners. I was like, good luck. Yeah.
Go that way. All right, here we go.
You just kind of go forward and shoot shit, and so we rolled dice, and
Good.
yeah, it was fun. We had a good time.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
And end up in the final, it was Kyle versus Mike. So it was Blizzard Force versus 501st, and Kyle was able to win. So Kyle with Blizzard Force beat Mike. It was kind of interesting because it was the original Scoundrel crew, because you had David Zelenka Endless casting it, and then you had Mike and Kyle, who were those 3 were the original members of the Notorious Scoundrels podcast. So it was kind of interesting to see them all interacting again. And it was really good to see, like, the sportsmanship at the top table was, hey, if you do this, you're going to, like, Kyle was going to use choke on Vader, and Mike told him, hey, if you do this, that's my last guy. You're going to be, he's like, oh, never mind, I'm not going to do that. I mean, things that where you could be like, nope, you say you're going to choke him, now you're out in the open, and I get to blast you. I mean, it was very good.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, we're going to say this is this. Okay. It was good sportsmanship, and that was like 9/10 of everything that I saw and read about.
There wasn't a whole lot of gotchas. Not
aside from probably the first time Dave popped Vader out of the Gav tank with pull your strings. That was probably a gotcha on some, because some people erupted in the Twitter chat about that, saying that was illegal, and it's not. There was a forum post on it the prior week. It's completely legal. Then Vader can get both of his activations, because during his activation he didn't disembark. So the tank double moved. Vader moved, pulled the strings, or Palpatine moved, pulled the strings on Vader. Vader performs his speed 1 move to get out of the tank. and then Vader gets to activate twice and gets buried into his opponent's line on turn 1, and it's rough.
Right.
It's rough. If you don't know that's coming, that was probably the only gotcha moment.
But now everybody knows.
Now everybody knows,
Yeah.
and now there's probably a huge order of Palpatines and Gav tanks going to the local stores because everybody's going to try this list out now.
Yeah, it was cool, and it was pretty cool having people come by and go, "Oh my God, 2 ISPs on the same table."
Oh, I heard LJ came by and was wondering what the hell was going on with your double GAR game that had 7 armor vehicles.
Yeah,
Sitting on it.
Yeah.
And
and so I learned a couple of things too. So I took Chewie. So you guys probably don't know why I took Chewie, because I like the dash. You get down to 4 wounds, and then you
Panic
get the
doesn't
dash.
matter.
You have to worry about panic, and that wasn't near the thing that.
you need to remove the suppression more than being able to ignore the panic.
Yeah, so that wasn't the cool, and I didn't get as much out of Chewie as I needed to. I didn't use Chewie all that much, and the way I used it wasn't all that great. And then in R2 I didn't get as much use, but some of that might be because. I healed a couple of times the vehicles, and then you're doing other things, hold position or do whatever with him. But so the list is changing.
It is.
It is. So I can say it now because we're going to see it anyway, and who cares?
Right.
And so I dropped Chewie.
You're going to be so good that it doesn't matter. They can't tech against it. It's going to be that good.
So I dropped Chewie, and I dropped R2.
So originally, all right, so I'm going to interject here. Because originally he's like, all right, I think I'm going to drop Chewie, and I'm going to bring in Kenobi. I'm like, really? He's like, I need a Force beat stick. It's like, okay. I'm like, well, Anakin's cheaper, right? Oh yeah, but you gotta use his cards to pump it up. I'm like,
Okay. I've got a problem. Okay, so I've played Anakin quite a lot. And the problem I've always had with Anakin is you've kind of got the handcuff, the 3-card handcuff to get.
But if you use Anakin defensively and you're not looking to get him to, he's going to be more of your linebacker and not your. I don't need to dive him until the last turn of the tournament.
Right.
Then that doesn't overly matter.
So
he's cheaper.
He kind of taught me into it, and I've kind of come up with something, some cards, some command cards. So I've got some ideas. I got to play with it a bit. I got a little time until
we got a couple months.
Yeah, and so I'm
Two-ish.
I'm much better with Anakin than I ever was with Chewie and or Obi.
Yes, because you haven't used Obi all that much because you kind of went to Anakin when he came out.
Yeah, and I used him a little bit in the beginning, but so I think it's the list is going to change to Beam Me Up Anakin. Not that you care because it's sitting right here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah. Not that you care, but so Beam Me Up
they
Anakin.
care. They care.
They don't care. No, they don't
It's
care.
our viewers. If they're still watching, they care.
They're probably not watching still. So most of these folks aren't even going to know that I'm changing the list. So
We're at 32 minutes.
see, they ain't watching now.
Oh,
They
sure
dropped
they
off.
are.
Yeah, no,
They're listening. They're listening.
Is that what?
They're painting while they do this or something, right?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, but
And I'm going to get my world's invite at OVO.
Well, no, you're just getting the last chance qualified. Yeah. You didn't want to make me feel bad for not having an invite, so you're going to help play me, and so then there we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Although it was pretty cool to have people come by and go, huh, he's actually playing ISP, twin ISPs and Chewie. That's really happening on the table right now. Yeah. At a tournament. So, but I'm going to make them work. Gosh damn it.
Double ISP beam is not.
I'm going to make it work.
Especially with your impact missiles that you're like, oh, you have armor? I don't care. Here you go. Have this. And now it's impact 2 surge crit.
Yeah, I'm going to make it work.
You are.
I'm going to make it work. Or not.
It can only go up from here, right? I mean.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyway, you've got Anakin in your clone commander still.
Yeah, Anakin clone commander.
Everything else is like the same.
It's exactly the same, pretty much.
You've got the 2 RSPs. You've got the phase 2 mortar. How's the mortar?
Actually, it was pretty good. For adding suppression to those other phase 2s. And it's better to use that on its own. You don't want to fire support with it, I don't think, because you're only adding 1 extra suppression. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of occasions where I split fire with that. So with that one unit,
Right, the
I'm
one
throwing-
unit's putting
I'm
out three suppression, as long as the one can hit.
Yeah. And so you're
Which
throwing
is
out
two
3
black?
suppression. Yeah, it's
The
2
mortar's
black.
two black,
Yeah,
so
it's 2 black. So I was it just throw a couple.
one,
Yeah,
it's
throw
like
2
one.
suppression on that unit. It's already got 3, and there's a pretty good chance you're So I mean that's that's. I
And
used that
then
a
your
couple-
ISPs aren't changing because you're going to make those work. ISPs
Yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
pilots, the twin
Yeah.
beam cannons, one
Yeah.
with LTA, the one with HQ uplink.
Yeah. Because I've got a plan now.
You're just
'Cause-
waiting for Cody now.
Yeah, I've got a plan now. Well, so even if Anakin gets in trouble, I can still play a 1-pip and put both of my commanders in the bag.
Right.
I get 6 orders out
You get
with a
6
1-pip.
orders
Yeah.
out easily
that.
with your 1-pip.
Yeah, and then put both orders in the bag,
And then be like, oh, I pull a commander.
yeah,
And
even
goes.
yeah. So you gotta. It's just
Mentally remembering that.
right
On day 3, game 9.
Yeah, and well, the cool part about Adepticon is I'm nowhere near as hungover or
That's true.
as I am in Vegas.
That's true.
Because
So the other Legion stuff that happened
right.
was and I have a little. I'm gonna not flip this table, but I'm gonna get a little salty here.
You've got a point, I think, dude. I think he's got a point. Yeah.
AMG released more or less the skirmish document. It wasn't in the main core rulebook. They said it was coming. They have now released what they call Special Operations. Special Operations is a standalone way of playing. Daren and I were actually throwing around ideas.
Actually,
to
we
do
were
a lot of the same sort of thing.
We were
this is.
we were gonna do it because we were a little salty about Shatterpoint.
Yep.
And so we're like, you know what? Piss off.
We're gonna make our own
we can-
squad based.
We can do
game.
that with Legion.
Yep.
Well, so can they.
They
So-
kind of did. So what this is you pick your faction. It's only the 4 main factions. There's no currently Shadow Collective option, and you have 2 different options in each faction. And what it is your force is pre-picked, but you can customize the upgrades on your force. So what I mean is, for the Republic, you can choose to have clone troopers or arc troopers. What that does is if you pick clone troopers, you get I believe it's called like a clone commander sort of a thing. You can get then 3 phase 1s. You get a phase 1 with a Z6. And then each of those can get like upgrade cards you can add to them. The arc one is you get a clone captain, like Clone Captain Rex. And you get 2 arc troopers, 1 arc trooper with a jetpack, and 1 arc trooper with the DC-15X. And again, they'll have other upgrades that they can get. And then you'll have your command cards still, but they're special command cards for this. Each mini is its own thing. So you're not in one group, it's this one guy is going to move. Now, the thing...
Necromunda-ish.
Yeah, Necromunda, Mordheim, that sort of a thing. An actual skirmish game, not just a 500-point still unit game. The one issue I have with this right now is that it uses the same movement tools as everything, but you don't use the range tools. Everything, you actually going to need a tape measure or a rule or something, because it's actually that part of it's in inches. So you're not using range 1, range 2, range 3. It's 6 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches. You play on a 3x3 board, so just like the skirmish. It's, to me, I'm really interested to see how this is going to work.
We're absolutely going to give it a shot.
Exactly.
And I know there are some folks out there that are a little
There were people that, so when Shatterpoint came out, the Legion community got up in arms because we're like, this is going to replace Legion. I was one of those ones. I was like, man,
Same.
now they're releasing a new core rulebook. They've just released, they're going to do Shatterpoint. Like, what in the fuck is going on?
Right.
Okay, all of that's more or less been alleviated now because the core rulebook, though it is a 1.5/2.0/ whatever you want to say it is, it's still Legion. They've just changed a little bit of how it is done. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Things change. I may not agree with everything, but they've already shown that they are willing to change the rule book to adjust to account for things. Hey, we missed this. Hey, we need to make this more clear. They've already said that this is a beta. They're releasing it instead of just doing all the beta testing in-house. They're releasing it for the month of February. They're then going to close it. They have a form you can submit to say, hey, submit your games, tell us what we got right, tell us what we got wrong, yada, yada, yada. They're then going to close it for the month of March, which is funny, that's an Adepticon is, so they're probably going to be busy with that too. They're going to take changes, they're going to incorporate those changes from the feedback, and then they're going to open the beta up again in April to again have us try. Like, this is what the community was calling for.
And this is what you're
more
getting. Yeah.
community engagement
Yeah.
with things. So we all get to be playtesters. So that's kind of cool. And people are losing their shit over, oh, why are you releasing this when you have Shatterpoint? What do you do this? Oh, this is... I'm like, you guys were bitching that you thought Shatterpoint was going to take over Legion. So they release more things for Legion. And you guys are still bitching about it. It's just like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I don't know. I didn't take the time to check to see if it was the same people bitching. Maybe it is. Maybe just people just want to bitch. I don't know.
It's the internet.
Right.
That's what people do on the internet.
But either no one's read these rules, or they don't, or they're like, "Oh, this is horrible." Well, then don't play it. You don't have to play it. It's another option of playing that's not skirmish, because they're not going to bring in. Well, maybe they will, because they said originally skirmish might come in its own thing, but this might be just replacing skirmish because not a lot of people liked skirmish. They thought it was a weird points level at a weird 3x3, which allowed close combat guys to just rule everything. And well, so now they've got this. So, I mean, and it's print and play. It doesn't cost you anything. And you can use your minis, which is what everybody was bitching about with Shatterpoint being new minis, different scale. It's going to be different. It's going to be the death keel of Legion, blah, 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 blah. Well, here, they've now said, go ahead. We see you guys. They even said in their article, they see that the community wanted something like this. And so they're allowing us to help them play test it.
So shut up and go play.
Right. Now, I mean, and I'm not a shill because, like, we don't get paid. They're not going to see this. We don't get anything from AMG. I mean, you'll probably see us play this, but, I mean, it just...
Well, we're absolutely going to give it a shot because
Yeah.
we
Whether we
don't-
record it or not,
yeah.
that's another question.
Well, because we don't have to spend any extra money. It's miniatures that we already have,
Right.
and it's
I
so
know a
we're
guy
gonna
that can
give it a
print
shot.
stuff. So, I mean,
Yeah, we know a guy that can print stuff. Yeah, so
called me with a printer. I mean,
so yeah, we're going to give it a shot. So yeah, give the damn thing a shot. It's kind of what we were bitching about, kind of what I was hoping for with Shatterpoint
Yeah.
when that came out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this is what we're gonna give it a shot, and we get to make changes too. So if they're actually gonna they're say they're gonna listen, it's our own
Right.
beta test. So play the damn thing.
and what you don't like, submit the damn form.
Yeah.
If you don't submit
stop,
the form,
stop bitching and
go
help.
roll some dice.
Yeah.
That's probably good, right? We done? I mean, I don't know.
I don't care. We done.
I'm good.
You know, this time though, the cool part about this time though, Dave wasn't with the Dominatrix.
No! Oh my god, we forgot
There
about
was no
that.
Dave Dominatrix this time.
There was no Dave. There was Daren Dominatrix instead.
She was a very nice girl.
All right. Well, I guess go roll some dice.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
roll some.